So before going out to check the hives for the first hive inspection, one thing I'm going to be doing is prepping the sugar water mix that I give them. This is 1-to-1 sugar water, basically half water, half granulated sugar. And in addition to that, we're also mixing in 1 teaspoon of protein powder, 1 teaspoon of Honeybee Healthy, and a half teaspoon of Honeybee Healthy with Amino Bee Booster. This recipe I got off of David Burns' YouTube channel, and the bees seem to like it because the Thursday morning that I gave it to them on the 4th, these 4 jars I'm going to be filling, those were the original jars. Those were completely full, and it was that was the morning of the 4th. By the afternoon of the 8th, I went out to check and see how the jars are holding up, and they had the jars completely empty. So both hives had taken a half gallon of this mix that I'm going to be doing. So, anyways, go ahead and spoons out. Use a separate spoon for each of the additives I'm putting in. Now I'm going to scoop in the bag of sugar. I got a 25-pound bag of sugar at Kroger. One of the YouTube channels I follow for beekeeping, the beekeeper was saying how when he starts out hives, they're going through this 1-to-1 sugar water about a gallon a week is what he's given them for the first few weeks, and that's basically just to help them build up the make sure they've got food while they're looking for their natural food, and then also it's going to help them with building up the honeycomb to fill up those frames that came from my hives. They were already well established with the 4 frames of each nuke that I got, but you know, my new hives, that's going to take a lot to fill those up. So we'll get these mixed up here. First thing, we need hot water. I just go hot water from the tap. I'll let that run and warm up. Meantime, open these up. That's hot. Alright. So fill up 2 cups. Yep, that's right at 2 cups. Nice thing with having a couple of 4-cup measuring cups is I can whip up 2 jars at the same time. So there we got. That was a little low. Cup out of the sink to add in. That's too high. Alright. Yep, that's perfect. Okay. So, this is a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon, so I'll need one of these. So, and one of that. So now for the Honeybee Healthy. This is you need a whole tablespoon, but this is a half teaspoon, or whole teaspoon, but this is half teaspoon, so I'm going to do 2 spoons of this. And half a teaspoon of the Hive Healthy Amino Bee Booster. This is a quarter teaspoon. You need a whole half teaspoon, so like the Hive Healthy, do 2 spoons of this. 1, 2. And it's slightly over. You don't have to have it exactly right, but pretty close. Alright. So now we're going to mix that up, and then we'll mix in the granulated sugar. So this is a milk frother. I got this off of Amazon for like about 30 bucks. Again, I saw this on David Burns' YouTube channel. He uses it to mix up the sugar water and mix and this stuff, and seems to do a pretty good job of mixing it up really fast. I also use this to mix up my sugar water for the hummingbird feeders. So that one is mixed up, except for the sugar. That aside for a moment. And for sugar, usually when I do my baking I get Domino's sugar, but this is whatever Kroger brand this is. It's a 25-pound bag of sugar, which is the largest thing they've got. They didn't have anything else in the name brands this size, so that will fill measuring cups up to 4-cup mark. And I've got a little more sugar than I need. That's fine. I prefer thicker than thinner, because the thicker it is, the harder it is to run out of the holes through the lids on the jars. A little bit more. Plus, not like the bees are gonna mind having all the sweetness. There we go. There's that one. as fast as they went through the jars that were originally on there. I don't think they're gonna. I know they're enjoying it, so. Yeah, that's good. All right. Sugar aside. Now you can tell when it's really thick by the way this. Yeah, it's having. Initially, until the sugar gets mixed in, it's going to have a. Gonna be a little. Going all over on the bottom to make sure all that sugar's up off the bottom and mixed in. Alright, this one's ready. Nice and mixed. Alright, so these are ready for the jars. Some of the sugar run off into it too. There's much goodness in there that can for them. Alright. There's one jar. Lid on. Make sure the lid's on good side because you don't want it leaking and running out. You want it to bubble out through these holes on the lid for the base to lick that off. And alright. So next jar. That one I think I ran out a little bit on the side, but I'll wipe these off before I put them in the box to take out. Yep. Actually, I'm going to wipe them off here. So that way. Well, let's clean up on the other side of the sink. It's kind of gross for us humans, but if they like it and it helps them out, that's good for them. Alright, now for the other two jars. Alright, so that's the two jars. And to clean this thing off, all you have to do is a glass of water. And then spin it out to air out. And it's done. Got a little warm on this one. Of course, after 4 jars, and this pretty thick sugar water, so these two. Nice and tight. Alright, now the last one. clean up. Nice thing is with this mix that I'm putting in, I put in the feeder jars. There was some residue that dried after the bees had emptied the jars, but a little hot water, it came right out, so it's easy to clean up. I use my glass brush to reach in and clean out the jars and just turn them upside down and let them drip dry. So, quick clean up of the countertop. That's good. Isn't sticky on there. Get these in box to take out. And that. That's ready to go. Let's go check the hives. you doing? Take the first frame out. This is one of my new ones. Looks like it's hasn't been touched. Well, they're on it. Put that aside for now. More activity on this one. Although they haven't done any building on it yet, but they are walking around on it. They're starting to build on this one. This is one of the new ones. Look at all of them. In here. Alright. This is one of the that came with the colony. Woo. Sorry, girls. That complex. So this is one of the frames that came with it. Food on here. Some brood. More food on this side too. They're definitely bringing in pollen. Some empty queen cups on the bottom. frames are sticking together. Propolis. Ooh, this one's heavy. Ooh, what we got here? Got some honey on this one, I think. Smoke on him. Cells up there. In the middle. There is cat brood. Got some honey on this side. Got some cat brood. Amazing how heavy these frames are with all the bees on them. starting to build. A couple bees on this one. They haven't really touched this one. So probably didn't need the extra brood boxes, at least on this one. I say still have 4 good frames and 2 frames up there. Working on at least. Looks like. Let's go ahead and get the other frame back in and we'll get these gulls closed up. They're all gathered up here on the sides too. Didn't see the queen. Didn't see as much uncapped brood as before. So hopefully. Okay. that's good, D. Alright, frame one. Like the other TVs on it. Nothing built up though. Two. Same. Ooh, you're fanning. That's in my face. Alright. Frame three. I got a little bit of their flax in here. Nothing much though. Okay. Now we're getting into the frames that came with the Nuke. There's one right on top of this frame who is sticking her butt up in the air fanning. So trying to build between these frames, I think. that side and that side. This one's heavy. Flew up and hit me. Side side. Stuff is gone, and I'm noticing there's looks like larvae in this place now. From what I can recall when I put the frames in, anyway. Nothing in that one. A couple bees on this one. Other than that, nothing. Seeing a bunch of them at the entrance fanning. Obviously making this their home. Just gotta give them time to build up. all frames back. Get this one back in. Got the frames together, then I soldered them in the box, so it makes it easier to come out from either side. Alright. Feed cover back on. On the bottom side, so these on the edges.